What's going on there, YouTube? Vaping Gaming here, and today we're playing Pokemon because today is the 20th year anniversary of Pokemon Red, Green and Blue. Yes, that's right, 20 years ago today the first games came out for the handhelds and revolutionised RPGs on handheld consoles. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people have played these games. Some of the viewers may be a bit too young to remember this originally coming out, but this is always one of my favourite games of all time, and since these original games we have come a long way in the Pokemon franchise. So without further ado, we're going to go over some basic Pokemon facts, which some people may have known, some people may not have, but either way, we're here to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. Let's go! Okay, so Pokemon is a series of video games developed by Game Freak and Creatures Inc. and published by Nintendo as part of the Pokemon media franchise. Now, this game was first released on the 27th of February 1996 in Japan for the Game Boy. The main series of role-playing games has continued on each generation. So, pretty much for every handheld console that Nintendo have released, there has been a Pokemon game for. I would say this is probably their main franchise for the Nintendo handheld consoles. Of course, along with Mario and Zelda, but as far as the handheld's concerned, Pokemon has been winning the race for a long time, and probably will do for a good many more years. Only time will tell, but until then, we'll just keep enjoying the games. Now, these games have commonly been released in pairs, so, as the first ones would have been Red and Green in Japan, the rest of the world got Red and Blue, which then was later followed up by an enhanced remake of the games. Now, this was usually a year or two after the original had been released, but for Blue and Red, as we would know it, we had Yellow, and so on and so forth. The only games that we've seen which haven't really done that to date have been Black and White, whereas the sequels to those were Black and White 2, and X and Y. There's still no Z as yet, but who knows what the future holds. As far as the future of Pokemon is concerned at the moment, there is a bit of information which I'm going to leave towards the end of the video, which for people who haven't heard already, for people who are fans of the Pokemon franchise, I think this might be very exciting news for you. So I'm going to leave that till the end of the video. I've got a couple of pictures, a little bit of video clip to show you, so if you hang around till the end, or even if you don't want to watch the video and you want to skip to the end, that's fine. There will be a little bit of video and just a little bit of information to soothe your appetites. Now, the original Pokemon games are Japanese RPGs with an element of strategy, and were created by Satoshi Tajiri. I think that's right. There's somebody out there who will probably correct me on the terms, but they were released for the Game Boy. Now, these role-playing games and their sequels, remakes and English language translations are still considered the main Pokemon games, and the games which most fans of the series are familiar with. Now, like I say, I have played this game over and over again, and I still enjoyed playing it even to just record this video. Guys, this is an awesome game if you've never played it, even if you're not a Pokemon fan. If you like RPGs, this is probably the best RPG you will ever play on a handheld console. So, the Pokemon series began with the release of Pocket Monsters Red and Green for the Game Boy in Japan. When these games proved extremely popular, an enhanced Blue version was released sometime after, and the Blue version was reprogrammed as Pokemon Red and Blue for international release. The original Green version was never released outside of Japan. Now, as you all know, afterwards a second enhanced remake was made called Pokemon Yellow, and was released to use the colour palette of the Game Boy Color and more stylistic resemblance to the popular Pokemon anime. Now, I know that a lot of people would have originally played this on the original Game Boy, but for me, I actually played the original games on the Game Boy Color, and it was quite a well-known fact that if you held B, and I think it was left or right, or different directions did different colours, but if you held it in the right way, then it would bring the colour palette to life, which is what you can see in this video. Now, okay, the colours aren't quite as vibrant as they were on Yellow, but the colours are still there, and beats playing it in black and white. By doing this, you still get the same gameplay experience with a bit more colour, And from playing these games again, even now, 20 years on after they came out, it's the nostalgic value. It was just so much fun to play. So, like I say, just give it a try if you've never played it before. You can pick these games up for a decent price now, especially being as today, the original games have been re-released on the Nintendo store. Now, I can't remember the price exactly. When I'm recording this video, I'm actually recording this yesterday, so I can't go on there and check the exact price, but as far as I know, it will be under £10. So I'm not quite sure how much that will be in America. I would imagine it will still be under $10 to $15, which is actually cheaper in some cases than trying to get your hands on the original cartridge. So, guys, buy it. It's good fun. You'll have a lot of fun playing this. It will kill some time. On a speedrun, you can complete this game fairly quickly, but it is still so much fun to play. So, get on the Nintendo store and buy this game. This game was, when it first came out, like I say, the original one in the series. This was back in the day when there was only 151 Pokémon, and one of those you couldn't even get in the game unless you went to an event or cheated to get it, and that was Mew. You will actually see now in the video. But guys, I could talk about this game for hours upon hours. You know, I spent a lot of my childhood playing this game, as a good many of you probably did as well. Now, you know, you got the glitches in this game, but that made it fun. People wanted to do the glitches. I don't think we've really ever seen anything else like that since. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to leave that for now. What we're actually going to do now is we're going to go over some of the different things, different games, and we'll get to the bit of information I said at the beginning of the video. So, here we have Pokemon Green, Blue and Red and Yellow, where we had the 151 Pokemon to start with. Then we have Gold, Silver and Crystal. There's the second gen where they had another 100 Pokemon. And then that takes us on to the third generation, which was Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. Now, this game they added another 135 Pokemon. And then they brought us on to Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, which was the fourth in the generation, with an extra 107. Which is where we went on to Black and White 2, which is the fifth in the generation, where they brought in another 156 Pokemon. This took us on to Pokemon X and Y and possibly Z, which now brings a total up to above 721. And this is where I silence the video for a second to bring you some exciting news. Now this is for people that don't already know, but I know there's going to be a lot of people that do already know. We have Pokemon Moon and Sun. Now this is the new game, due to be released later on this year. Guys, let me know what you think about this. Do you think this is exciting news? If you're a Pokemon fan, then I'm sure you will. And until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, stay safe, and shabaladu!